how that all shakes out. So BW gets ready for the game. They'll be in their white, brown, and gold tops tonight, and you'll see Wittenberg in the really cool jerseys. I think it might be one of my favorite road kits that we see at any point all year, red and black up top. We'll step aside here very briefly and have a quick pregame interview with head coach Jim Woitkin while they introduce the players in the field and have the national anthem, and then we'll have the opening kick after that. But here is head coach Jim Woitkin. Pregame conversation with head coach Jim Woitkin before the Wittenberg Tigers and Baldwin Wallace Yellow Jackets get ready for a battle today, and one that's meaningful because it's a big regional game. Two non-conference opponents, but certainly two teams that are hoping to have NCAA tournament aspirations. Let's talk first about Wittenberg, the team you're playing tonight. They've been in the NCAA tournament the last couple of years. They won the NCAC last season, and they were knocked out on kind of a late goal of the NCAA tournament last season by the defending national champion. So they have some experience. What most worries you about playing a team like that?
Oh, right now, aside from their experience, they're big, they're fast, they're good on the ball. Everything you want to have on a team, Katie brings to that team. They're well coached. So for us, it'll be making sure that we can match their speed of play, put ourselves in a situation where we don't let them hold the ball too long, and we have to play quickly in transition, which makes it very difficult. They're very, very powerful and fast team, so it'll be interesting for us.
You mentioned Katie Robinson. She's a Capital grad, obviously knows OAC soccer. Does that help or hurt or not play in whatsoever? How do you see that?
Katie was a great player and she's a great coach. She brings an intensity and a soccer intelligence to bear, so it's going to be very difficult for us. She's going to have the girls well prepared. So from our perspective, we have to match everything she'll bring, which is, her intensity as a player carries through her intensity as a coach, and her players respond to that. She gets the kind of players that really feed off of her energy, and that's going to be a very difficult test for us.
On your side, coming off really a pretty solid stretch at the beginning of the season, you've played well at home. I know you had to fight through some crappy weather, but certainly got some positive results, and as you build some confidence at the beginning of the year, those are things you want to see. How would you assess the play of some of your freshmen and sophomores early on who've certainly contributed?
I can't say I'm surprised because I knew they had it in them, but to step into a varsity match and to play with the heart and intensity they have and to get the results they have, it's good. It feels good to know that they're learning quickly, that they're able to step into the game and put the things we put on the training pitch to bear on the game. So I'm very pleased, very proud and very pleased.
I know defensively, one of the things you've been focused on is trying to play better together as a cohesive unit. How has that come along in training this week?
Slowly. We still got to work through some issues. We still rely too much on some individual athleticism to get us out of trouble. We need to get connected better in the back. We need to make sure that we defend as a unit, not individually. But we're making some strides. Baby steps, maybe not strides, but we're getting there. I swear by conference we'll be there.
Well, the other side of the issue is offensively, you've got so much firepower up top that sometimes you can cover up those kinds of mistakes. When you evaluate the way your attack has played early in the year, where do you think other teams are going to try to focus their efforts?
Oh, they're going to stop Rachel Bender. There's no doubt. Although Rachel hasn't scored a goal yet, I'd say her play this year has far exceeded everything she's done in the past. Aside from the statistics, her level of play, her leadership, her ability to stretch defenses and bring in other players involved in the game, magnificent. She's a special player, and she's really showing it this year.
What's next for Rachel? If she has aspirations to play beyond the college game, where does she need to continue to get better? Because she's had a great career.
I think decision-making is still probably the biggest issue for her, to know when to get the ball off her feet and involve other people and to ask for the ball back. It's easy for her at times to keep the ball on her feet a long time because she's so talented, but to get to the next level, speed of play.
Before we let you go, how about a couple keys to the game tonight?
Our ability to break down their big and fast center backs, deny service into their forwards, and dominate play in the midfield. We do those things, we'll be in really good space.
Have fun and good luck.
Thanks. Appreciate it.
All right, let's get you set for the start of tonight's game as both teams have taken the field after the national anthem. Yellow Jackets looking for their 4th win in a row. A team that last year at one point won 6 consecutive games, all of that leading up to the beginning of conference play, and then, of course, making yet another appearance in the OAC tournament last fall. We'll see what the Yellow Jackets have in store here at the beginning of this season. Still early on, lots of soccer still in front of them, but good to be off on the right note. If you tune in a little bit late, I'm Brendan Gulick. Yellow Jackets will move from left to right the way you see them here in the first half. Here is your starting lineup. Up top, it'll be, let's start in the back. Sophia Widener in goal, the junior from Medina. The back line across from left to right. Josie Fenn is the left back. Left center back will be Morgan Gray. Right center back, Amanda Donahue. And at right back, Kenna Popdick. Cassandra Wakeman will play as a sweeper. She's a senior from Stowe Monroe Falls. In the midfield, Olivia Kane and Kayla Webb, along with Alex Guido. And then Rachel Bender and Caitlin McGuire play up top. Off we go here at Finney Stadium. Yellow Jackets in white, Tigers in black and red. For Wittenberg, they've got junior goalkeeper Kelly Corbin working in net. She's a young lady all the way from California, Fallbrook, California, in fact. And really the only young lady on this team that is exceptionally far away from home, except for perhaps Caitlin Krieg, who is a sophomore from Denver, Colorado. Other starters for Wittenberg tonight. Megan Davis is a senior defender. Sydney Weaver, a freshman defender. You'll see Emily Thomas, a senior defender. Kaylee Serena is a senior defender. And Missy Bernhardt is a senior defender. So some veteran presence in the back line. In the midfield, Shannon Bruick, who is one of their better players. Expect her to play an important role tonight. Already 2 goals on the season, as the Yellow Jackets try to get it out of the back line. Emily Weil will play as a freshman midfielder. She's from Hilliard-Davidson High School in Dublin. Also Jasmine Evans, a sophomore from Wyoming, Ohio, down in the greater Cincinnati area. And your 2 forwards, Taylor Vaughn Stanton and Alex Steele. Steele is a freshman from Thomas Worthington High School in Columbus. And Vaughn Stanton, a senior forward from Fort Thomas, Kentucky. Opening couple of minutes of action. Tigers' last couple of years have been really, really good. And the Yellow Jackets have not played Wittenberg in that last season. Yellow Jackets, in fact, they changed up some of their opposition on the schedule. For example, the team is no longer playing Case, which was kind of a fun game early in the year for BW. But one of the teams that BW has on the schedule now this year is this Tiger side. And look, it's a great, great opponent for them. Trying to see other NCAC teams that BW would have played last year. Hiram on the schedule a year ago as the ball is played out for Bender way too far out in front of her. And Jackets beat Hiram last season 3-0. Defiance and Bluffton both play in the Heartland Collegiate Athletic Conference. So I think Oberlin's an NCAC team. So two NCAC schools last year as Rachel Bender takes a crack from a long way out. It's a nice save, pulled in by Corbin. You heard Jim Whitekin talk about it in our pregame interview. Rachel Bender has taken a boatload of shots early on, but she hasn't scored yet. That shot from well outside the box there was her 29th shot of the season. And she still hasn't put one in, and yet Jim feels that Rachel is probably playing some of her best soccer of her career right now because she's made everybody else around her substantially better. What a compliment that is. Long ball played ahead. See if the Yellow Jackets can get it out of the back. Olivia Kane, who gets the start tonight, sends it up the field. Last year, Wittenberg went to the NCAA tournament after winning the North Coast conference championship tournament. And Wittenberg did win a game in the NCAA tournament last year. They won an overtime thriller with Thomas More. And then they were knocked out by the Bears from Washington University, who are the national champions from 2 years ago. Only goal in that game against WashU came really late. It was scored in the 88th minute. As you might imagine, Wittenberg picked pretty high in the preseason conference poll. Another ball played up for Bender, but too far up the left-hand side. They did receive 4 first-place votes, but they were not picked to win the conference preseason. Denison actually earned 1 more point than Wittenberg did in the poll, even though Denison only had 1 first-place vote. And so Denison is the preseason favorite, and then Wittenberg right there, but kind of splitting hairs between those two. Bender trying to get centralized. Lays it off to Kayla Webb, who's coming off a 2-goal game. Kind of Poptic pressing up. Looks like it rolls out of play. McGuire over there, and Poptic will throw in. 39 minutes, 20 seconds left in the first half. Webb got turned around a bit. Oh, great footwork. Avoids a defender, continues her solid play, and then finally stymied in the corner of the box. But she had Emily Thomas all spun around. The Yellow Jackets earn a corner kick.
By number 10.
It's a short corner. Follow-up shot put through the football uprights well over the bar. Rachel Bender too tall. So the Yellow Jackets remain off the board here early on, but they've definitely come out swinging. Always good to see that. Let's see if they can continue this early pressure. It's McGuire looking toward the middle. And Wittenberg gets it out of harm's way for a moment. You heard Jim Woykin talk about the physicality of Kaylee Serena and Megan Davis, who are both seniors and playing in the center of the back line as Webb looks for an opening. It can't find one. Well, Webb wins another corner kick. So a couple of early corners for the Jackets. Poptic will take it. Actually, she lays off to Bender, who goes back to Poptic, rolls it to the middle, almost got deflected in. A turn and a shot from Gray is just wide right. Kelly Corbin having a tough time early on because the Jackets have smothered her. So good work from BW early in the game. Wonder how long they can try to keep things on the offensive. As the official blows the whistle and points back to BW. By the way, our head referee today, Ryan Slack, Darrell Clay, and Michael Pugh working along with him. 5 early shots for Baldwin Wallace. We are just entering the 9th minute. No score, but it's been a good start for the Brown and Gold. Poptic with the right foot. Solid weighted ball, but Corbin on one hop handles it no problem, despite some little pressure there at the end from Kayla Webb. It was fun to talk with Kayla Webb in our post-match press conference on Saturday. She was so quick to point to her teammates as the reason why she scored both of her goals. And while I certainly think she was kind in doing so, she probably deserved more credit than she gave herself, because I thought she played a terrific game on Saturday in that win over Oberlin. And there's no doubt that her development in the midfield is critical for BW if they want to try to make a run at a conference championship this year. One name you won't notice in the starting lineup tonight, that is an important one, senior Bree Osborne, who is battling a small injury that she doesn't think will linger for too long, but unable to go tonight. Bender flying up the left flank, centers it back toward Kayla Webb, who redirects it on net. Great ball played in. Webb nearly scored the first goal of the game. BW credited now with 6 early shots, 3 of them on goal. If you're Wittenberg, or if you're a Tiger fan and you're watching the game, it might be a little nervous early on, but we are still so early in the contest. It's about trying to survive the opening run here on the road. And this is also a critical part of the game for the Yellow Jackets, because if you have followed the team at all through their first 4 games of the season, they have not begun games well. For whatever reason, it's just been slow for the offense. Well, today, anything but, and I am certain that was a point of emphasis for Jim Woitkin and his side in trying to get off to a better start today and not feel like they're dragging their feet through quicksand at the beginning of the game and just trying to stay afloat. Poptic lofts it back into the middle of the box. Wittenberg looking for a little room to operate. Morgan Gray making that tough. It's rolled over near side, Alex Steele. Well, she went right back to Jasmine Evans, and Wittenberg has a throw-in. Will be thrown in by Emily Thomas, senior from Centerville. 33-42 in the first half. No score yet. Baldwin Wallace 6 shots to Wittenberg's none in the beginning of this affair. Maybe for the first time all night, Bender and Webb got caught up. A little miscommunication. Josie Fenn wins the ball back anyways. Good little slip pass. Bender in the box. She shoots, but she's offside. Great pass from Josie Fenn. Bender was just a step behind the last defender. And the official made the call immediately, so there was no real backlash from BW there. But I love the Yellow Jackets' aggressiveness early in the game. It seems like that's been a big difference compared to what we saw last weekend. And again, look, they won both games over the weekend, so it's not that they were doing things and it wasn't working out for them. But there were times it felt like they were playing behind the 8 ball in Saturday and Sunday's games, which were cold and wet and raining quite often. Fenn steps in on a poor touch in the midfield. Knocked out of bounds. Throw in for the Tigers. If you're just tuning in, it is a very comfortable fall night in Berea. The temperature is in the mid-60s. A breeze blowing across, well, the way you see it, blowing from left to right. Probably 7 to 10 miles an hour. The flag waving a good bit. Jasmine Evans goes back to the far side. One thing Wittenberg doesn't do a lot of is play through their midfield. They like to play a lot of balls over the top, which is kind of interesting because everything we've learned is that the midfielders for the Tigers are pretty talented, but their style is incredibly direct, and they like to get the ball to the top of the formation quickly. So we'll have to see how the Yellow Jackets can potentially hold off on Wittenberg's very direct style of play. It was a good job there getting it out of the box. Bender's going to apply some pressure, but it won't matter. Kaylee Serena sends it away. No score, 31-12 left in the opening frame. And a Jacket throw in coming. Amanda Donahue gave chase, and she'll let Fenn throw it in. You heard from Jim Woiken pregame, second-year head coach, but he's been with BW's program for a long time as an assistant prior to taking over the head duties from Reed Ayers, who is focusing now just on the men's side. Bender, good idea playing it back ahead. Guido chasing after it, but she's not going to get there. On the other side for Wittenberg, second-year head coach Katie Robinson, a young lady from Capital University. She was a 2008 Capital Crusader graduate, played in the OAC for a couple of years, and now coaching elsewhere in Central Ohio. Probably no surprise they opened the season at Capital. I have to think that there's still a relationship there. Good leadership there from Morgan Gray, telling the young Donahue, hey, play this back to Widener and let us try to make something happen out of the back here. Widener rolls it past Donahue, which is probably good because there was some pressure on that far side. We've been playing for a quarter hour, no score. BW's registered 6 shots. They've taken 2 corner kicks, and Wittenberg is just trying to get their feet underneath them here early on. Evans can't really turn around Donahue. Not entirely sure why, but the referee on the far side after the throw-in waved it back to Baldwin Wallace. I didn't think they were that close to the sideline. Perhaps there was a foul. Jim Woiken's side is about to go through some road contests. I mentioned this is the third of 3 consecutive games here at home. Nice job keeping it away there in the back. Of the next 6 games for BW, 5 of them are away from home. They'll play at Frostburg State, which is in Maryland, this weekend. And they will go to Hiram on Tuesday night. Next Saturday, the 22nd, the Yellow Jackets men's and women's team are both home. They'll play a doubleheader here at home. The women have Waynesburg at 1 o'clock on Saturday, September 22nd. And then 3 more consecutive road games. Bender runs onto it, taps it back in with the left foot, spins it wide of the net. Jackets go to Grove City, and then they open the conference. Road games at Capital and at a top 10 team in the country, Ohio Northern. Coach Woiken barking out instructions. Good double team. Wakeman really helping out there nicely. Far side and Bender. Fenn presses up. It's played back to Olivia Kane. She'll throw it in here. 27-16 on the first half timer. Looked like that was just an incidental contact of the hand, not whistled. Thomas taps up near side, but out of Alex Steele's range. Home games in conference for BW. Well, there's only 4 this year. They play 5 road games and 4 here at home. They've got Otterbein, Muskingum, John Carroll, and Mount Union, all here at Finney Stadium. Final game of the regular season is Saturday, October 27th. And at that point, the Yellow Jackets will hopefully continue their season in the OAC tournament, but going to have to play their way into that. You've got to earn the right to play in the conference championship tournament. Donahue's played pretty well so far. Good job holding off Emily Weil there. Actually, beg your pardon, that was still Jasmine Evans. So even though she's a midfielder, she's really playing well forward. Widener out of the back, not particularly long. And so Wittenberg sustaining some pressure. Webb pushes Weil off of it. It's a clean tackle and a breakaway. Bender ahead looking for Guido, and she couldn't run onto it. Alex Guido is a talented forward, but not necessarily known for her speed. It's a couple of balls here in the first half she hasn't been able to run onto. Well, it's a tough one for the Jackets not to win there. Cassandra Wakeman got knocked off the ball. 25 minutes left in the first half, so we are entering the 21st minute of action. Starting 11 on both sides, still on the field. We haven't seen any subs quite yet, but perhaps that will change soon. We'll see. Looks like Poptic was waved further back from the place where she wanted to throw in. McGuire. And Kayla Webb knocks it out. Both teams just trading throw-ins here on the near side. Jackets have outshot Wittenberg 7-0 so far. Bruick can't penetrate the midfield. Poptic trying to recover. Steele giving her a pretty good chase. And Steele's going to get to the ball. Centering pass with the left foot. Deflected out nicely by Wakeman. Long one over the top. Morgan Gray looking for McGuire. And it's a BW throw-in with 23-25 in the first half. Oh, rolled into no man's land. Morgan Gray taps over. Donahue. Play up the far side. Josie Fenn. Bender's involved. She's got a sliver of space to work with. Good cross from Bender. Stays alive in the box. Good effort from Kane, but couldn't stay on it. One away by Sydney Weaver. And now Vaughn Stanton giving chase up the right side. Widener trying to organize her defense. And Wittenberg has their first corner kick of the game. 22-15 in the first half. Emily Thomas will come ahead to take the corner kick. Wittenberg averaging right around 5 corner kicks per game
20, Emily Thomas.
in the beginning of their season so far. So Thomas will take it for the ladies in red. She plays it back. Well, wide left. Not a terrible idea, but unconventional. After the corner, the ball played forward by Missy Bernhardt. Looking at the backside post on that play, Alex Steele got her left leg put on it. Meanwhile, the official Ryan Slack wanted to adjust where the post was, so play got held up for just a second. Widener to send it back in. And a Violation on the Tigers. No score, 21 minutes left in the first half. If you tuned in a little bit late, I'm Brendan Gulick. The Yellow Jackets have certainly flexed their muscles early on. Of the 7 shots they've taken, Rachel Bender's fired 4. She's up to 32 shots on the season without a goal, which is really hard to believe. A young lady last year, an academic All-American, and just a terrific player. One of the best in recent memory here in Berea. But yet to get in the back of the net. Certainly working hard to see if she can make that change. Bender wants to turn the corner here and get central. Lets it go with the right foot. That one was deflected off Guido and wide left. All right, time for a sub, says Jim Woitkin. Wakeman comes out, and she's replaced by Sydney Graneman, a sophomore from Avon, Indiana. Graneman will play in that sweeper role. Weil trying to play up the right flank. Good teamwork. Back to Bruick. Now touched ahead. Donahue slides in just at the last second. Knocks it away from Weaver, where she would have had basically a free run at the net. Good defense again from Donahue. That one somehow slipped through the legs of Morgan Gray when she tried to deflect it out. The rest of the team came to help her. 19-15 in the first half. BW and Wittenberg are scoreless. Graneman can't quite run onto it. Bruick wins it in the midfield. It stays with the Tigers. Everybody else over there thought it was going back to BW. Well, after that really hot 10-minute start for Baldwin Wallace as the flag went up, it's a Yellow Jacket free kick and another sub coming on here. Guido checks out, and she's replaced by Claire Cuthbertson, who I thought looked excellent on Saturday. Anyways, Bender plays a low driving ball ahead. Yellow Jackets had a great opening 10 minutes, but they've kind of cooled off since that early onslaught, which in some regard is to be expected against a team with a lot of seniors, especially in the back line. And a team that's got some national tournament experience. They are the reigning conference champions. You expect them to play well, and if they get off to a sloppy start, to fix that quickly. Headed down, Cuthbertson can't run onto it, but Kayla Webb found it. Webb with the right foot, and she just didn't hit it the way she wanted to. Sent it well high and wide of her target. She had Bender collapsing down on the play. Another new Yellow Jacket. It's Isabella Regal, freshman
now
from
for BW,
McKinley High School.
32, Isabella Rival.
Actually, I beg your pardon. Her last name is pronounced Rigel, not Regal. I don't want to say that incorrectly. By the way, Rigel came on for Caitlin McGuire. So she'll play at the right forward spot. Bender's still playing out wide left. She's pretty comfortable on both sides of the field at this point in her career. Most people would assume she'd be better on the right side because she likes to play with her outside foot there. But truth be told, she's developed on the opposite side just as well. And I think that's part of the reason why she's so dangerous. You can't really pin Rachel in a spot and hope that for an entire 90-minute game that she's going to struggle there. That's just one of her strengths. She's so versatile and so explosive and uses her whole body well. Truly one of the best in the area. Wittenberg plays up the right side. A little bit of a breakdown there for BW, and the Tigers have an opening. Playing it toward the corner. Fenn collapsing down. Good body control from Weaver. Centers it into the middle of the box. But Wittenberg kind of blows that own opportunity up. Well, the Tigers have not played a very good first half. Certainly not by their standards. This is Emily Thomas. She's probably been one of the few bright spots in the opening frame. We're in the 30th minute. There is no score, and so both sides still feel like it's anyone's game, but the fact is, right now, BW out shooting Wittenberg 8-1, and it kind of feels that way. Bender comes to it. Does nicely to hold off Bernhardt, and then explodes by her. Rachel turns it on. Racing up the field. Rest of the defense trying to catch up. Rips it with the left foot. Just wide left, and you can see the frustration on Bender's face after she strikes it wide.
Coming in for BW, number 21, Anna Wenzinger.
Anna Wenzinger on for the freshman Olivia Kane. Wenzinger, a freshman herself from Bishop Watterson. So some reinforcements for Jim Whitekin on the field right now. He's changed a couple of faces up top with Cuthbertson and Rigel as Isabella tries to run on it near side. Wenzinger stretched her right leg out but couldn't get to that. Fenn, Donahue, Gray, and Popdick, the back line still intact. Oh, what a terrific pass and a Wittenberg goal. That was as good as it gets. Sydney Weaver from Taylor Von Stanton with 14 minutes left in the first half. It is 1-0 Tigers. Weaver scores her third goal of the season. That's a team high, and it was a perfectly played ball up. All the early work that the Yellow Jackets put together, and right now they've got to play from behind. Kayla Webb taken off the field. Bella Szymanski takes her spot now. Sometimes you just tip your hat when the other team makes a good play. I don't think BW necessarily defended that poorly. I think it was just an absolutely perfect ball. This one played too far out in front of Josie Fenn. Picked up. And even though the Tigers statistically on the wrong side of most categories, they are ahead on the scoreboard and they can relax a little bit here on the road. See how the Yellow Jackets respond after giving up that goal in the 31st minute. Szymanski with the right foot. She chips it over. That's a mistake by Kelly Corbin. It's off her hands. But apparently she had already crossed the touch line when she tried to grab that, and so they're going to call it a goal kick and not a corner kick. That's a unlucky break if you're a Yellow Jacket fan. Most of the time those end up as corner kicks. Near side, Poptick. Long ball played ahead. Ooh, Cuthbertson on a ricochet took it off the side of her face. Thankfully, she gets back up. Totally incidental, but not how she drew that up.
Coming in for Wittenberg, number 17, Bailey Hurley, and number 3, Maria Miller.
You can hear Maria Miller and Bailey Hurley checking in. And they'll replace Emily Thomas and Alex Steele, both playing on the near side of the field from your vantage point. 11:38 left in the first half. Wittenberg leads by a goal. Fenn headed it, but didn't really drive the ball at Rachel Bender the way I think she wanted to. Now Morgan Gray, who again has to play in a big role tonight with no Bree Osborne back there to work with her. Amanda Donahue, though, I think has been one of BW's bright spots tonight. She's played pretty well. Rigel did not keep it inbounds. The fly goes up. 11 minutes left in the first half. Today's Yellow Jacket soccer game brought to you by Dan Andrews and Olympic Forest Products, a global recycling company, by Domino's Pizza in Berea, official pizza provider of BW Athletics. Call us at 440-891-0030, or you can go online, domino's.com. And also sponsored by the Comfort Inn in Middleburg Heights, where your comfort's just a part of the service we provide our guests. If you tune in late, I'm Brendan Gulick. This is the 35th minute. Wittenberg 1, BW nothing, on a terrific goal from Sydney Weaver and assisted by Taylor Vaughn Stanton. Came just a few minutes ago. Near side throw in for Maria Miller, freshman from New Albany. She gets it right back and cracks it to the other side where Josie Fenn tripped over the ball. This is Weaver. Hard to get a step on Graneman. Good work. Yellow Jacket sub coming on here this time. It's Cuthbertson.
Coming in for BW.
Coming
number
out.
12, Kenneth Stones.
And Kenneth Stones for the first time tonight will come on. Jim Woitkin trying to find that group up top that he can, I don't want to say pair necessarily, it's got to be more than two, but a group up top that can work best with Rachel Bender and her talents. Again, without Rachel scoring goals, means others are going to have to find ways, like this beautiful ball played to Rachel on the left side. Stones in the middle of the box. It's played across and dove on by Kelly Corbin. Well, we saw a couple goals this weekend where Rachel put the ball on the net and the keeper did not hang onto it cleanly, and the rebound was knocked back in. I think BW was hoping it could be a similar situation there, but Corbin read that well. Kelly Corbin has played, including tonight now, 5 games this season, but she has not played every minute of every game. Emma Shue, actually, I believe it's pronounced Shuey. Emma Shuey, a freshman from Mason, did play for about 9.5 minutes in one game so far. Popdick, Donahue, Gray, and Fenn still the back line as Morgan Gray plays this one up on the free kick. 8:08 left in the first half. Popdick trying to keep it alive, taps it back. Stones drives a ball into a defender, got it right back at her feet. Rigel up the right sideline, and it'll cross. Bender standing hands on hips across the far side of the park. Perhaps a little frustrated with the way that last free kick didn't turn into anything. Donahue, who's playing with a brace on her left knee, doesn't really seem to be favoring it. Great work by Bella Szymanski. Maintains possession there. Wenzinger to the outside. Rigel across. Stones tried to chest it down, but too firm and rolled far away from her. And now the first sub in the back line, Donahue checking out.
Andrea Scatino.
And Andrea Scatino, a freshman from Niles McKinley. She'll come on for presumably the final 7 minutes of the first half. Wittenberg leads at 1-0. You wouldn't know it by the way the game has been played. The Yellow Jackets statistically have the advantage, but the Tigers on easily the play of the night in striking for their one and only goal so far. And at the end of the night, That's the only thing that really counts. Tough to win on the road, and a Tigers team that is tournament tested knows how to do that pretty well. The Yellow Jackets, they've got some younger players, but most of the Yellow Jackets underclassmen who are not freshmen this year, most of them played decent minutes last season. So even though it's a fairly young group in spots, of course you've got some seniors, but most of BW's team has a little bit of experience even though they're younger. Well done by Josie Fenn. This is a long shot driven across the face of the net. Carly Stang from the right side drove it across. It's a goal kick.
Coming in for Wittenberg.
Actually, you know what? That was Bailey Hurley.
Carly Stang.
Carly Stang coming on now here, and she's going to replace Jasmine Evans. A couple of the Wittenberg numbers a little tough to see tonight. Apologize for that. 5:30 left in the first half. So Carly Stang checks in. Hurley headed that one. Vaughn Stanton chasing after it. She wins it away from Szymanski. Miller plays near side and Hurley. With her eyes forward. Right foots it all the way past Weaver. And Morgan Gray takes care of that. Couldn't connect with Bender. Under 5 minutes left in the first half. A Jacket throw incoming. BW with 11 first half shots, but nothing to show for their efforts in the scoring column. 7 of those 11 shots come from Rachel Bender. Free kick for the Tigers, and they'll take it from roughly 40 yards away from net. Megan Davis plays it short. And well wide right. I believe that was Missy Bernhardt, the senior from Hamilton. And drove it across the field. 4 minutes left in the first half. Widener didn't have much to do early in the game, but certainly has been busy the last 20 minutes. Bender connects with Stones. Played back to Rachel, but too far out in front of her. Heavy touch, and Stones gives it back. That's a frustrating turnover because Bender was basically going to play 2-on-2 with the two center backs and with her teammate Isabella Rigel on the far side. Those are the kinds of things you can't really afford to give away. Rachel checks out. She gets an extra couple minutes here at halftime. Courtney Marzensky takes her spot.
Courtney Marzensky.
Marzensky is listed as a defender, but she's playing up on the left attack spot. Under 3 minutes to go in the first half. Yellow Jackets have won 3 games in a row. They have scored 2 or more goals in each of those 3 games, but they've been shut out so far in the first half tonight. Wittenberg 2-2, having traded wins and losses, and both of their losses have come to OAC competition. Handled by Capital 4-1 in the opener, and they lost at Wilmington 2-1 last week. In fact, that was a week ago tonight. Corbin. Szymanski almost came down with it. Weil bumped her, and so it'll be a BW free kick. Really good chance here. 2 minutes left before halftime. Kenna Poptic can set one up. Yellow Jackets are going to send a lot of bodies forward here as Wittenberg brings literally everyone back to defend. Poptic with the right foot. This is driven toward the top corner of the of the goal. Awfully close. Just driven over. And Wittenberg holds on to the 1-0 lead. BW with just over a minute remaining before halftime. Trying to make something of it and come up with a late first half equalizing goal. Poptic recovers. She's played the whole game so far tonight. 52 seconds. There was a foul away from the ball back near midfield, and it's on BW. So Wittenberg, with now 45 seconds, will line up. Shannon Bruick, the senior from Milford High. Long strike. It's in a good spot. Headed clear. Well done by Scatino. Picked off by Maria Miller. Rigel. 15 seconds left before halftime. And the Yellow Jackets appear content to go into halftime here, down by a goal.
3, 2, 1.
Wittenberg's Sydney Weaver has the only goal so far. It was a beautiful goal in the 31st minute, and the Tigers lead things 1-0. We'll step aside during halftime. When we come back, we'll bring you the second half live here in Berea. Wittenberg 1, Baldwin Wallace 0 on BWYellowJackets.com.
OEC, a leading technology company in Northeast Ohio, has an established educational partnership with Baldwin Wallace University to help drive the regional technology industry. By granting unprecedented access to patented technology with real-life application, OEC helps enhance and further BW students' educations while preparing them for their future careers. Together with OEC, BW graduates will continue to shape and grow the regional technology community. Visit us at oeconnection.com.
Today, our whole team is here for you and your teams.
Cleveland Clinic cares for athletes
and the active.
We'll get you back in the game.
Whether your goal is moving pain-free,
Running in the park,
or hitting one out of it.
Trust Ohio's #1 orthopedic care.
to keep you at your best.
Cleveland Clinic is here for you.
anytime,
Anywhere.
Find your way to the best care at clevelandclinic.org/access.
Attention fans, a copy of tonight's game program can be found in the mailbox located on the south side of the press box. Tonight's women's soccer results and all other Yellow Jacket athletic results can be accessed through the BW Athletics website at www.bwyellowjackets.com. Results are posted within an hour after most athletic events. Tonight's women's soccer game is being streamed live with play-by-play with Brendan Gulick on the BW Athletics website at www.bwyellowjackets.com. All home women's soccer broadcasts can be viewed on the BW Athletics website. Congratulations to junior All-OAC performer Bella Pendola of Warsaw for being named OAC Women's Cross Country Runner of the Week for the second time in her career. Congratulations, Bella. Congratulations also goes out to freshman outside hitter Ivy Earl of Howell for being named OAC Volleyball Player of the Week for the first time in her young career after leading BW to a 6-0 week. Congrats, Ivy. Finally, congratulations goes out to junior golfer Ben Ledeka of Erie, Pennsylvania, on his first career OAC Men's Golfer of the Week honors. Ledeka shot a career low 69 to finish 3 under par for his first career medalist honor, leading BW to its second straight invitational title. Congrats, Ben. The volleyball team travels out to Rochester, New York to compete in the Golden Flyer Invitational, hosted by Nazareth College, Friday and Saturday, September 14th through 15th. The Yellow Jackets will take on host Nazareth, Keuka, St. John Fisher, and Medaille. The men's soccer team will conclude its 4-game road trip on Saturday, September 15th against Pitt Bradford at 2:15 p.m. The football team continues Ohio Athletic Conference action on Saturday, September 15th, when the Yellow Jackets host defending NCAA champion University of Mount Union at 2 p.m. for Community and Family Day and Homecoming. The cross-country teams are idle next week and will race again on Saturday, September 22nd, at the Purple Valley Classic, hosted by the Williams College at Mount Greylock High School in Williamstown, Massachusetts. The women's soccer team will hit the road on Saturday, September 15th, when the Yellow Jackets take on Frostburg State in Maryland at 2 p.m. The men's golf team will next compete on Monday, September 17th in the John DiCillo Fall Invitational, hosted by John Carroll University at the Shaker Heights Country Club. The men's tennis team continues the 2018-19 campaign on Saturday and Sunday, September 15th and 16th, in the two-day Oberlin Invitational at the Don Hunzinger Tennis Courts. The Yellow Jackets will also host Westminster College on September 16th at 3 p.m. The women's golf team is idle until Sunday and Monday, September 16th and 17th, when the Yellow Jackets compete in the two-day John Carroll Fall Invitational at the Country Club of Hudson. The women's tennis team kicks off the 2018 season on Saturday, September 15th, when the Yellow Jackets travel to take on Franciscan University at Steubenville at 1 p.m.
All right, we're going to start the second half here at George Finney Stadium. It is 1-0 Wittenberg, and the only goal of the night so far belongs to a young lady for the Tigers who has now scored 3 goals on the season. That'd be Sydney Weaver. As Wittenberg moves from left to right, they're wearing the red and black. We get rolling in the second half. Weaver's got the ball on her foot, immediately passes right toward the middle of the field. Weaver going to find it in the right corner. Josie Fenn runs onto her. We'll see what this Yellow Jacket side is made of in the second half, because they came out on a really hot start at the beginning of the game, and they just weren't able to put one home to validate their efforts. And from that point forward, they kind of played a stalemate with Wittenberg, with the exception of one terrific Tiger goal. That was really the difference. Wittenberg made one outstanding play, and that was enough. Header into the middle of the box, kept alive. Bruick runs after it, and Wittenberg still on the attack here. And finally a goal kick for Sophia Widener. After the Tigers played that one out, Emily Thomas chased it up there. Starting 11 back out there for BW. Back line of, well, I guess let's go from near side to far side. Josie Fenn, Morgan Gray, Amanda Donahue, and, of course, Kenna Poptic. Almost called her Anna. Her sister graduated a year ago and was a good player, too. Wakeman plays it ahead. Webb and Kane in the midfield. McGuire playing up the right side again here in the second half. Rachel Bender playing out wide to the left and running right down the middle of the park. At least at the outset here, it'll be Alex Guido. Jackets dominating this game statistically. Wittenberg's only taken 2 shots, but one of them went in. And 7 of the 12 shots BW has put on frame have come from Rachel Bender. So you can give her now 35 shots on the season and no goals to show for it yet. Left-footed rip. Didn't really have a ton of pace behind it from Guido. And a relatively easy play for Kelly Corbin. "42 minutes, 40 seconds left in regulation. Still plenty of soccer to be played. Back ahead, Weaver on the right side. The offside flag is up. Probably a fortunate break. Want to remind you that after the game is over tonight, probably within 45 to 60 minutes after play completes, we have a chance to do a post-game press conference with Jim Woitkin and with a couple of players. That does not stream live anywhere. We produce it after the fact. But we'll have that posted on the bottom of the game story tonight, and it'll be posted on our social media accounts probably late this evening. Hard to know for sure when it'll go up, but if you're looking to hear from Coach Woitkin and a couple of the young ladies after the game, know that that opportunity's there. It just takes a little while for those to get posted. Good ball played in the midfield, and again, I really think Amanda Donahue is filling in admirably tonight for Bree Osborne. Ball played ahead from Guido to Bender. That's a good one. Rachel in the corner. Gets back to her right foot. Rolls one right at Corbin. And that's one I think Bender wants to have back. She put some good pace behind it. It was positioned fine, but it was not nearly a high difficulty level save for Kelly Corbin. She was kind of standing there as it was. But Bender is going to continue to take shots and try to make something happen. A young lady from Jackson High School down in Massillon, a polar bear in high school. And Jim Woitkin knows that when she graduates, it's going to be difficult to fill her shoes. Rachel has shined so brightly throughout her career. And she's such a good kid. Always enjoy getting a chance to talk with her. She's got a fairly reserved personality, but she's almost always got a smile on her face. You can definitely tell that she comes from a humble upbringing. And I think her teammates really respect what she does out on the field because she doesn't carry herself like you might see some All-Americans carry themselves. She's just the kind of player that goes about her business, and she's really, really good at it. Wittenberg takes it away. Shannon Bruick helping the Tigers move up the field. She's running up the middle of the park. Weaver to her right. Bruick rips a shot into Morgan Gray. Might not have felt good, but Gray is happy that it didn't penetrate the back line. And now Bender can go to work up the near side. Rachel just blazing speed runs by Bernhardt. Now measures the rest of the defense. It's kept alive here. Bender with the left foot. This is a good shot. Corbin makes the two-handed grab. That came from a long way out, but still a good look from Rachel Bender. 5 minutes gone in the second half. We're playing in the 51st minute. 1-0 Tigers on the third goal of the season from Sydney Weaver. Taylor Von Stanton with a scintillating pass to set up the goal. Great pass into the middle. Guido just a step behind it. Bender almost facilitated an equalizer. Josie Fenn going to try to keep the pressure up for Baldwin Wallace. Thrown in toward Bender, who has been working hard here at the beginning of the half. Turns in the right foot, sends us one a little too strong over the top, looking for Caitlin McGuire. And Rachel's body language pretty much tells the whole story right now. She's kind of bent over with her hands on her knees. I imagine some of it is because she'd been essentially running some wind sprints. But some probably in frustration too, because she knows that wasn't a great ball played over the top, not the way she wanted. Jackets trying to mentally stay in it though, because they've had some consistent possession here. Wakeman in the corner, rolls it across, comes back toward Bender. She's got an opening, takes it with the left foot. Corbin grabbed it, it bounced in front of her. And as Kayla Webb was crashing down on her, Corbin picked it back up. 37:50 left in the second half. And the Jackets were so close to getting one on frame there. Back to Bender. Maybe up the far side with McGuire. Morgan Gray right foots it ahead. Kayla Webb, sweet foot skills. McGuire pushed off the ball a little bit by Missy Bernhardt. That should be a corner kick. Sure is. BW wins their first corner of the second half and their third of the night. And Kenneth Poptic will run up to take it.
Corner kick for BW taken by number 10, Kenneth
You could hear Katie Robinson, the head coach for the Tigers, yelling across the field. She didn't like the decision to give away the corner kick. Poptic with the left foot, drives it just across the face of the net. Too tall and wide left. Almost looked like she was halfway between shooting and passing. If it was a shot, it was well off target. If it was a pass, perhaps driven too high and too firm. Poptic lets an opportunity slip through. 9 minutes gone in the second half. Jackets again playing well at the outset of the half, but nothing to show for their effort yet. Bender again. Back to Alex Guido. Rachel runs ahead. Well, she beats Megan Davis. Rolls it in front. Almost an own goal. Wittenberg nearly put it in their own net. Still alive. Webb looking for Kane, and she gave it away. Boy, the Jackets right on the precipice of tying this game. Just isn't meant to be yet. 35-30 left in the second half. High ball played into the box. Guido trying to run underneath it. Instead, Webb flings it toward the middle. over Bender's head. Rachel can't turn and make a play on it. Feeling some pressure. Tries to center it. Cracks it with the right foot. Not near the goal. Under 35 minutes remaining in regulation. Who's going to step up and try to make a big play for Baldwin Wallace against a team that, in all likelihood, could help them with some regional ranking points as the season moves along? The expectation is that Wittenberg is going to have another pretty good year. Off to a 2-2 start. But a win against the Tigers would easily, in my opinion, be the best victory of the season if they could pull one out here at home. This is the most quality club they've played. Donahue watches it roll across. Rather than playing back to Gray, she says, all right, we'll take our cracks at it on this side. Yellow Jacket sub, Caitlin McGuire comes out.
Number 25,
Maddie Farrell, young lady from Michigan, makes her first appearance of the evening. Bender got taken out. It's a foul on the Tigers. Quick restart, looking up for Kayla Webb. Webb toward the middle of the field. Guido offers shoulder. Farrell couldn't square her shoulders around. And now it's pulled away by Jasmine Evans. Tigers want to go up the left side. Room to work for Maria Miller. She's got Weaver in the box. Great step up and defense. That was Morgan Gray, who was bumped out wide to the right. And now she'll flip-flop and come back to her center back spot. Well done, slotting over and making the right play. Widener's got it on a couple hops. 32-47 left in regulation. Wittenberg 1, Baldwin Wallace nothing. Tonight's Yellow Jacket soccer game brought to you by the Oswald Company. They'll handle all of your insurance and risk management needs. By Medical Mutual of Ohio, the official healthcare provider of Baldwin Wallace University. And by Arena 51 Laser Tag in Middleburg Heights. Prepare for battle. Beautiful night for soccer in Berea. A couple of substitutes
coming in for Wittenberg.
Coming on for Wittenberg.
Sydney Artis.
Sydney Artis and Alex Steele coming back on. Steele was a starter tonight. Artis, first time we've seen her. But Steele did not begin the second half out there. And it looks like Taylor Von Stanton and Emily Thomas check out. Donahue. Kayla Webb came too firmly off of her, and she turned it over. Trying to work through Artis. Now they go to Weaver. Back an aerial for Artis. And Gray says, get out of here. Well done, Morgan Gray. Again, no Bree Osborne tonight. The hope is that she won't miss too many games. Of course, the Yellow Jackets got some tough news last week when they found out that Olivia Muldoon was going to miss the rest of the season with a knee injury. Bree Osborne also battling a knee injury, but she is not expected to be out terribly long. Certainly, she's doing everything she can to get back out there. Nobody wants their senior season to be roughed up by injuries. We're in the 60th minute. The Tigers have a 1-0 lead. Samantha Weaver. Check that. Sydney Weaver. Sydney Weaver has the only goal. Wittenberg has taken 3 total shots tonight. Only 1 in the second half. Bender working hard. Can't win it originally. Olivia Kane keeps it going. Wakeman touches it toward Bender, but it was not directly at her. Donahue goes back to Gray. Jackets playing their third of 3 games in a row at home. Now they're going to go play 5 of the next 6 on the road before they really jump into the heart of conference play. The tail end of that road trip will start OAC competition. By the way, Kenna Poptic there, just terrific work pulling it off of Alex Steele. Widener decides best to throw it out. Webb and Poptic work together. With the left foot, Poptic looking for Guido, but Bruick stepped in front. Kane. And a turnover. Jackets have a tactical advantage here, but they let Wittenberg possess it for a bit. That's going to be a throw-in in the very far corner for the brown and gold. After a rainy and cold weekend, the temperatures have warmed up the last couple of days. And a little bit more seasonal, late summer, early fall. Wind blowing tonight. It's a breezy, very comfortable evening. BW sub. Rigel comes on.
Coming in for BW, number 2, Casey Didion.
I don't think that's Didion. Nope. I know they announced Didion, but it is definitely Isabella Rigel who just checked on. Rigel replaces Maddie Farrell, who had checked in a few minutes back. So we saw Isabella Rigel playing in the first half. Thought she played pretty well at the right forward spot. And she's back there again up top with Guido and with Bender. Widener looking Bender's direction. Webb headed it toward her. Great win by Rachel Bender. Emily Weil didn't know she was behind her. But Weil is a tall, physical center back. Helped win it away. Jackets trying to recover here. Steele. Well done by Poptic. But it's a Wittenberg corner kick. Just their second of the match. 27 minutes, 13 seconds remaining in the second half. Jackets down a goal.
Corner for Wittenberg taken by number 18, Sydney Artis.
Artis with the right foot. It's a long corner, driven right back. It's a great save. Kenna Poptic was on the line after the ball was headed back across the net. They had Widener beat, and Poptic single-handedly keeps this game 1-0. Fabulous work. Jackets feel like they're a little bit on their heels at the moment. Perhaps the team is feeding off of the frustration from Rachel Bender tonight. She's taken 11 of the team's 17 shots, but no goals for BW, outshooting Wittenberg 17-4. But the classy goal from the Tigers right now is the difference. Weaver working on Josie Fenn. Terrific job from Josie. Does not let Weaver get centrally. And the corner kick was probably the best outcome there.
Corner for Wittenberg taken by number 18, Sydney Artis.
Jackets are going to need another solid defensive effort as Artis as an outswinger across, loose in the middle of the box. And it's kicked away off target. Good effort, though, from Emily Weil. This is a pretty young Wittenberg roster. Aside from the seniors who are playing, there are a lot of underclassmen. And I think Wittenberg is working through some of those challenges of having an inexperienced roster at the beginning of the season. They're relying so heavily on their senior leaders. Missy Barnhart, of course, Kaylee Serena, Emily Thomas, Shannon Bruick, Taylor Von Stanton. There's a shot through the left side. Finally it goes in. Rachel Bender makes it a tie game.
Goal for BW scored by number 11, Rachel Bender, assisted by number 20, Alex Guido.
Guido with a nice pass. Bender finally able to get the monkey off her back. Her 12th shot of the game. And it's her first goal of the season.
BW, number 12, Kenneth Stones, and number 21, Anna Wenzinger.
Now it's a whole new ball game. How does Wittenberg respond? Webb takes it away in the midfield. Rigel watches it roll across the touchline. If nothing else, that goal reinvigorates Baldwin Wallace. 23-33 left in regulation. And we're all tied at one apiece. Last year, Rachel Bender scored 16 goals in 20 games. And she scored those 16 goals on a total of 115 shots. Well, it seems like the shot total lately has been even increased this year. It's back toward Bender. She tried to get ahead on it. Back at Bender's feet. Wakeman, good effort. You can just tell in Bender's body language, feeling a little better and relieved after finally scoring. Donahue across. Kenna Stones back to Bender. She tried to touch it back to the middle, but no real open space. Bender heads this one toward Stones. Donahue to the far side now. Rigel, central. Stones cracks it on the frame. Nice diving stop by Kelly Corbin. Evans wins it away for Wittenberg. Looking for Weaver. And a handball in the middle of the field. Pretty clean game played tonight. And again, statistically, the Yellow Jackets have looked like they've dominated this game. But the 1-1 level score, all you need to know. Low driver into the box off Megan Davis's right foot. Quickly denied. When you hit those low driving balls from a long distance on set pieces like that, far more often than not, it's not going to develop into anything. It's usually a better play to try to go with a higher, heavier ball. See if someone might head it down. Just too much traffic when everybody's bunched together like that. Good defense from Donahue. Holds off Alex Steele. 20 minutes left in regulation. At the moment, a 1-1 game. Of course, we could look at overtime potentially. We'll see how things shake out. Lots of soccer still to be played. Webb. Oh, great idea, but just not quite enough on it. Gray can't keep it away from Weaver. Thankfully, Josie Fenn there to collapse down. Wittenberg still alive with Emily Weil, and she just straight hip checked Josie Fenn. It's off of Fenn. Boy, she's having a physical second half. Wittenberg won, Baldwin Wallace won.
By number 18, Sydney Artis.
Artis to take the corner kick. Driven across. Was headed out by Poptic. Bender turns it over and commits a foul, coming back on the plate. She played the ball, but it was not a clean tackle. Rachel is not put in the book. 18:20 left in regulation. Bender, Wakeman, Stones, and Rigel make up the wall. Ball is driven right toward Widener. It was smoked. But Sophie Widener makes the stop. Megan Davis with a really strong right leg. Here's Bruick. Little help from the midfield. Alex Steele. It's really not what she had in mind. Rigel just sends it up the field and centrally. Weil ahead, trying to slide it toward Weaver. Kenna Stones holds off Megan Davis pretty well. Fires up the Yellow Jacket sideline. Long ball for Bender. Rachel collapses down on it. And Kelly Corbin kind of flinched, but at least stayed with the ball. Under 17 minutes left to play. Rachel Bender's first goal of the season tied things at 1 apiece. Came in the 66th minute. Only Wittenberg strike back in the 31st minute. Bender again, that one went through. Webb got cracked to the ground. They're going to say it's a BW throw-in. Truth be told, I think it should have been a Wittenberg throw-in, but hard not to imagine how that was not ruled a foul. And it looked like Emily Weil wasn't playing the ball at all.
Coming in for Wittenberg, number 14, Taylor Von Stanton.
All right, so a couple subs for BW.
Number 28, Shay Goring.
Graneman comes back on. Fenn's going to throw it in here. Webb still up top with Bender and McGuire. Olivia Kane in there too. Kind of Stones on the throw in. Fenn rolls it across. Graneman heads it back toward the middle. Kane swings and misses at it. Vaughn Stanton rolls out towards Steele. Actually, that's Shea Gorin, a freshman from Massillon Jackson High School. She would have played with Rachel Bender for 1 year in high school. 15-18 left in the game. Weaver. Apparently kept it in. Bender feeling some pressure from Bernhardt. Wisely used her teammates. Graneman in the midfield. Morgan Gray really popped that one up in the air. That was not BW's best effort clearing the ball. Donahue to the rescue, maybe. Webb got beat. Now Weil unloads and almost took the lead. Kayla Webb did not feel Emily Weil right on her hip. Weil intercepted the pass and took a great shot toward the upper right corner. Had it been on target, Widener would not have been able to save it. But thankfully, things are okay. Goal kick.
Coming in for BW,
Bella Szymanski
number
returning.
16, Bella Szymanski.
And Kayla Webb heads off. Can't imagine Jim Woykin was happy with Webb on that last play. She's played really well, perhaps just a little tired, giving her a break. Webb had a 2-goal performance on Saturday and looked really good. 5 of Wittenberg's 7 shots have come in the second half here. Several of those early in the half. The Jackets have shored up the defense pretty well. And they did get an equalizer. .12:42 left in regulation. BW has not played an overtime game yet this year. Neither has Wittenberg, but we could be bound for one if we don't see a goal in the next 12 and a half minutes. Evans swings it across. She mishit it. Had a really good chance to take an open shot. And she played it all the way across instead of putting it on the net there. Long ball played over. Not a terrible idea. Another one from Weil, but the shot missed wide right. Boy, if that would have gone home from 45 yards out, that would have been hard to swallow for BW. 88th minute. Check that, 78th minute. Tonight's Yellow Jacket soccer game brought to you by the Cleveland Clinic Sports Health Division, the official healthcare provider of BW Athletics. By the Crown Plaza in Middleburg Heights. If you're looking for a quality place to stay before or after any Yellow Jacket contest, choose the Crown Plaza. And by Integrity Berea. If you want to find a place to call home, choose Integrity Berea. Go online to mybereaapartment.com. Pop Dick wins it away. Need some help. Szymanski plays into the midfield. Wittenberg wins it back again. And it's not well struck by Megan Davis. 79th minute, tied at 1. Stones runs after it and just kicks it out of bounds. Okay. Bernhardt on the restart. New Tiger coming on. Sydney Artis returning.
Coming in for Wittenberg, number 18, Sydney Artis.
Shannon Bruick heading out. Bender drives it in the air up the field. Crosses the touchline. 10 minutes remaining in regulation. Still tied at 1. Wittenberg, the reigning NCAC champion. They've been to the NCAA tournament a couple times in the last few years. Graduated a lot of talent last year, but still some impact seniors on the roster. The Jackets really hoping they can squeak out a win here at home. They would have to do so in a come-from-behind fashion. Wittenberg scored in the first half. BW did tie things up roughly 10 and a half minutes ago. Rachel Bender's first goal of the year. Rachel plays a nice ball across the field toward McGuire. Stones couldn't come up with it. 3 new faces coming on, 2 for BW.
In for BW,
looks like
number 8,
Guido and
Michelina Rush.
20,
Alex Guido. In for Wittenberg, number 3.
First opportunity for Rush tonight. Freshman from Pennsylvania. See what she can do. Granneman plays back into the back line. Morgan Gray's been really busy tonight. I think for the most part, Morgan's played like the upperclassman that she is. Good effort from Szymanski. Kane had it intercepted. She lost her footing. Poptic pressuring on the far side. 8:16 left in regulation. Ball too far out in front of Guido. Out of bounds. And a throw in with less than 8 minutes to play. Brendan Gulick with you on BWYellowJackets.com. Hope you've enjoyed the night. Baldwin Wallace has had some bright spots. None brighter than the Bender goal. About midway through the second half. It was a big one after Wittenberg was playing fairly well with a 1-goal lead. This one loosens up. Guido can't get on it. Just out of her reach. Gray to the far side. Poptic. Stymied. Stays with it, but lost possession. Oh, she won it back. Well done. Got a little help from Kane, too. Olivia Kane up the right side. Bender and Guido getting centralized. Long, high arcing ball pulled out of the air by Kelly Corbin. 6:50 left in the second half clock. Still tied at 1 apiece. Gray working with Weaver, and Morgan Gray wisely just kicks it out of bounds. One more stride, and Weaver probably had her beat. Throw in coming from Bernhardt. Bender sends it up the field, clears it out of danger for a moment. Well done by Szymanski. Kane pressuring. Couldn't quite get it free. Actually, beg your pardon, that was Rush. Kane was coming on behind the play. Good work by Michelina Rush. Almost able to free up Bender. Inside 6 minutes to go in the second half. Morgan Gray feeling some pressure. Widener sends it out. Still alive for Artis. Goal kick. Another BW sub here.
Coming in for BW, number
Kayla Webb
7,
back
Kayla
on.
Webb.
Szymanski has a seat. 5:20 left on the clock. Does somebody have a late goal in store?
Coming in for Wittenberg, number 7, Shannon Bruick.
Shannon Bruick, not surprised to see her returning either. Artis checking back out. Bruick plays with some good pace. Weaver wins it away from Fenn. Weaver's got to get creative, though. It's tough to beat Fenn. And it was not a great ball played off, but nevertheless, Widener picks it up. Less than 5 minutes to go before we'd have to go to overtime. Donahue had it spin off her foot awkwardly. Back to Rush on the far side. Now Graneman in the midfield. Rolls it across to Bender. With the right foot, Rachel plays it ahead for Guido. It's right on her. Good ball. Alex Guido trying to get toward the middle of the field. Parks it across. That was an uncharacteristically off-balance play by Bender. 4 minutes to go. Back to Rachel. On her left foot, she spins it across. Corbin had both her hands on it. Rachel Bender registers her 13th shot of the night. That was her first since finally breaking through and scoring. Graneman just beat Weaver to it. Racing after it. Bruick keeps it going for Wittenberg. 3:20 on the clock. Bruick with the right foot across. Weaver is there, spins around, has an opening and shoots wide left. Didn't quite square up to the net, but still a good look from Sydney Weaver, whose goal earlier gave Wittenberg a lead with which they played a solid 40 minutes. Less than 3 minutes remaining. Neither team has played an overtime affair yet this season, but we might be looking at that tonight. Good game. Really, truly has been a fun game to watch. Wittenberg's a quality team, and I think BW has put together a solid effort tonight, trying to stay with it. Kane launches it out of bounds. Almost feels like for BW right now, it's about not flinching. Just trying to make sure the defense stays short up. You don't want to give up a game-winning goal with less than 2 minutes because you had some sort of mental breakdown. If you get beat, make the other team earn it.
In the half.
Wittenberg turns it over. Guido looking for Bender. Oh, this is a huge breakdown for Wittenberg. Bender shoots it just wide left. Rachel Bender nearly wins it for BW late.
Coming in for BW, number 27, Claire Cuthbertson, and number 30, Cassandra Wickman.
Wakeman and Cuthbertson return for the final 1:20. See if the Yellow Jackets can bring a full frontal attack here. It'll be a Wittenberg throw-in. Bender. Looking. Back heel touch. It's a nice one. And then Webb rolled it into no man's land. 1 minute to go. Josie Fenn will throw in with 48 seconds on the clock. Kept alive. Donahue touches back to Gray. Weil heads it for Witt. Popdick. 30 seconds to play. Webb touches into the middle. Lofted to the sideline. 20 seconds on the clock. That'll be a Wittenberg throw-in. Well, looks like we're probably bound for overtime.
10, 9,
Under 10 seconds
8,
to play.
7.
Donahue should
6,
just kick this out of bounds
5,
here. She doesn't.
4, 3, 2,
Weaver
1, 0.
gets a soft shot off, and that's that. So after 90 minutes, it's BW 1 and Wittenberg 1. Second half goal from Rachel Bender brings the Yellow Jackets within a tie, and we've got a 5-minute stoppage before we start overtime. We'll step aside briefly, come back and reset things for you in just a couple of minutes on BWYellowJackets.com. So close. Actually, some overtime games together, but I actually Wittenberg's a quality team. So, we'll see. All right, we're just about to start overtime as BW and Wittenberg have played to a 1-1 draw so far. This is the first overtime game of the season for either side. Last time BW played in overtime, it was October 21st last season on Senior Day. And BW won the game 1-0 when Kenna Poptick's older sister, Anna, scored the golden goal and won the game for the Yellow Jackets. Her goal came in the 95th minute, so it came 5 minutes into the first overtime. If for some reason you're unfamiliar with overtime rules in college soccer, it is a maximum of 2 10-minute overtimes, and it's golden goal. The game can end in a draw. There's no reason to have a penalty shootout during the regular season, but unlike at the FIFA international level where you have stoppage time added on, at the collegiate level, you play 2 45-minute halves, and you can play a maximum of 2 10-minute overtime periods with a very short stoppage between those 2 overtimes. So we'll see how things shake out. Yellow Jackets in white, Wittenberg Tigers on the road tonight. They're in the red and black, and they have flipped sides here for the overtime period. The Jackets, for whatever it's worth, have a little bit of a wind advantage at their back in the start of this first overtime. BW is out shooting Wittenberg tonight 22-11, and it wasn't really even that close in that second half. Jackets, I thought, played pretty well during stretches, but they had a few breakdowns here and there as Sophia Widener comes out and picks up the loose ball. She's been in goal all night long for Baldwin Wallace. Rachel Bender finally scored. Hasn't been for a lack of trying. Bender scored her first goal of the season on her 12th shot of the night and her 40th shot of the year. She only took 115 shots last year and scored 16 times. So even though her goal per game rate and her shot percentage success rate hasn't been very high, she has made a lot of really nice plays this year and helped some other teammates around her. At the start of the first overtime, Wittenberg has a little bit of the control. Webb jockeying over on that far side with Shea Gorin, a freshman from Massillon. Josie Fenn throws it in, keeps it in play. Gorin cuts her off, taps it over to Vaughn Stanton. Looking to get to the middle. Poptick got in there. Now a long shot rolled right at Sophia Widener. Shannon Bruick hit it firmly, but directionally not that challenging. Widener with one of her best punts of the day. I mean, this was crushed up the field. We haven't seen length like that from her much all season. And apparently a foul on Alex Guido. In terms of who the Yellow Jackets have on the field here at the start of overtime, they have left Michelina Rush, the freshman forward, at right forward. Bender is still playing out wide left, and she has not come across the field at all the whole game. She has stayed on the left side, which was different than what we've seen in most games so far this year, where she's kind of flipped back and forth between the two sides. Alex Guido's up top. Kayla Webb is still in the game. Olivia Kane is still in there. Fenn gave way to Morgan Gray. Bender with the ball at her feet, likes to use her speed to get around the defense. Plays a nice ball through here. She's got Rush in stride. Rush tips it back to Bender. Launches it across for the back post. It's headed away. Still alive for BW. Bender with the left foot. Wide left. I'm pretty sure it was Megan Davis for Wittenberg that covered up the backside. Bender almost tucked it in the top corner to win the game. Again, it's golden goal, so first team to score and the game's over. Tied at 1, 6:55 left in the first overtime. Tonight's Yellow Jacket affair also brought to you by the Courtyard by Marriott and Town Place Suites in Middleburg Heights, and by American International. If you require a company with proven performance, rely on American International. Wittenberg up the far side. A little bit of pressure from Jasmine Evans, but her centering pass was nowhere near any of her teammates. Widener launches her punt up the field. Guido running over to it. Challenged a bit by Davis. Webb got a little bit sloppy there, and Weil won it away. Now Weaver overran the ball. Pop dick. Right off of Emily Weil. Looks like she might be favoring that left leg just a little bit. We'll keep an eye on Weil, who I think has been one of the bright stars for Wittenberg tonight. Wittenberg goal scored in the 31st minute by Sydney Weaver on a fabulous through ball from Taylor Von Stanton. And on the other side, Alex Guido assisting Rachel Bender as she finally broke through in the 61st minute of the game. Check that, 66th minute of the game. Jackets in the midfield here, about halfway through the first overtime period. Ooh, pinball. It's a Wittenberg throw in, and they're going to make a substitution.
Number 24, Alex Steele.
Alex Steele comes on, replaces Shea Gorin. And the official appears to be okay too. All right, everybody's good. 4:50 left in overtime one. That's a Yellow Jacket foul. No booking on Morgan Gray, but definitely a foul. Free kick. Kept in by Steele for just a brief second, and she lost it. In all reality, the stats would point toward some frustration if the Yellow Jackets don't win the game. But I really think Wittenberg has played solid soccer, and I don't think a draw is a bad result for Baldwin Wallace. Of course, they want to win, and it would certainly help their cause with some Great Lakes regional rankings. As those come into effect later in the year, it would certainly help their cause there if they could pick up a win. But I don't think a draw would be a terrible result. Wittenberg would probably be frustrated to come out with a draw, given that they had the early lead and couldn't seal off the game. But because they have given up 23 shots to just their 12, I assume they probably would also be okay with a tie. Sometimes about keeping the bigger picture in mind. Jasmine Evans out.
Number 3, Maria Miller.
Maria Miller back on. Again, she's listed as a defender, but Miller has played up in the formation a lot tonight. And Miller beats Morgan Gray on the far side. Donahue and Fenn trying to get central with Wakeman. Weaver, top of the box. Fancy footwork. Gray stays right on her hip. Weaver tried to cross it, deflected away. Still there. Weaver, great work. Zings it across. Picked up on one bounce. Fabulous effort by Sydney Weaver. Now it's ahead for Rachel Bender. Bender measures up Guido. Guido gave it back to Bender, not with much space to work with. Rachel turns and shoots it well over the top of the bar. I admire her willingness to pull the trigger, but that was not a high percentage look. 2:28 left in the first overtime. We are still deadlocked at 1. Fenn couldn't take it away from Weaver.
Two minutes remaining in the period.
2 minutes left in overtime. Bender did not connect with Webb. This is a long shot. Just wide left. Miscommunication between two of the Yellow Jackets' best players almost cost them the game. 1:35 on the clock and counting. All right, so Widener's not going to take this goal kick here. Instead, Morgan Gray plays it up. Good pressure from Rush. Hasn't played a ton of minutes tonight, but Michelina Rush has played pretty well. Wittenberg in a really good spot. Steele in the middle. It's still loose. Alex Steele can't get a free good spot on it. Just sort of nudged it forward. Became an easy play for Widener. A real threatening ball, though, for Wittenberg. And now the Jackets try to go the other way and apply some late half pressure. 40 seconds left before the overtime would expire. This is a foul on Shannon Bruick. The Jackets, with 30 seconds to go, they need to get a ball in play here, and they need to do it quickly. This is taking forever. 20 seconds left. Clearly, this is going to be the last play of overtime, but BW is wasting some time here. 15 seconds and counting. 10 seconds and counting. Morgan Gray drives it toward the net. On one hop, Corbin comes out and grabs it.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
All right. 100 minutes complete. And we'll have our second overtime momentarily. Just 2 minutes between overtimes, and then we'll get rolling with the second overtime period. 1-1 tie here in Berea. Back in just a moment. It's the start of the second overtime on BWYellowJackets.com. Baldwin Wallace and Wittenberg, two Great Lakes regional rivals, but not conference rivals, meeting tonight for the first time in a couple of years. It's a great early season game for BW to play against a quality opponent like Wittenberg. And right now, the two teams are tied at 1 as we start the second overtime. BW has doubled up Wittenberg in the shot column. 24, it's actually 24-13 now instead of 24-12. But really a solid game. I think it's been a good performance for both sides. A draw is not a horrible result. It's almost as if you want to play the last 10 minutes of this game, keeping in mind that it's okay to finish with the tie. Try to take your chances to win, but you really don't want to cough up the game here late. Kenna Poptick's going to take a free kick for BW and see if they can come up with a game-winning goal. Poptick long toward the net, pulled out of the air by Corbin on the fly. And she bombs it up the field. Morgan Gray, I think, has played really well tonight. So is Amanda Donahue. She's my MVP in the back line. Donahue not typically a starter. Bree Osborne unable to go tonight with a knee injury. hoping it won't be long before she can come back out there. But Donahue has really filled in admirably in her absence. Low ball played across, loose in the box for just a second before Widener gets it. Alex Steele, she's got a bright future. Just a freshman for the Tigers. Nifty little move on the far side. High over the top. Kenna Stones did not play in the first overtime, but I thought Stones was good in the second half. See if she can make a difference. Kenna Stone's one of the taller, more physical players on BW's roster. Stands at 5'10", officially listed as the tallest player on the roster. Bender with the left foot, rockets a ball low, and a diving save by Corbin. Rachel's got a quick trigger, and if you're the opposing keeper, you can't ever lose her on the field. Weaver with under 8 minutes to play. Fenn trying to stay tight to her. Weaver creates a little space and wins a corner kick for Wittenberg. Tigers won, Yellow Jackets won with a maximum of 7.5 minutes remaining in our game. If we are still tied at 1 after the next 7 minutes and 21 seconds tick off, then the game will end in a 1-1 tie. Thomas will take the corner kick. Widener gets everybody lined up. It's played in the middle of the box, headed away by Morgan Gray. And then cleared out by Rush. That's how you do it defensively. Look at Bender flying in from behind, trying to keep it in play. Just touched the sideline. It was very late, but they did make the correct call and whistle it out of bounds. A late whistle, but the proper decision. You don't want the game to end on a mistake like that. That was hit by somebody's hand. They're going to say play on. 6:24 on the clock. Sometimes when a ball is hit by a hand like that, but there's no advantage to the other team, and they'll let it play through. For what it's worth, I think the game has been well officiated tonight. Good, solid game. Missy Bernhardt, second straight throw in for her. Jackets trying to get it off the sideline here. Played ahead toward Kenna Stones. Taps it up. Long ball ahead, looking for Rush off Kayla Webb's left foot. Webb comes flying back at it. Megan Davis beats her there. Granum in. She and Poptic didn't work the way they wanted to together. That one crossed the sideline. 5:20 left in the game. Rachel Bender looks a little winded on the backside. She's been out there the majority of the night. That one's tipped away, or else it might have been right on Bender's foot. Webb looks into the middle. Didn't really have much intention behind it. Kelly Corbin punts it up the field a long way. 4:50 at most left in the game. Weaver. Hard to run by Josie Fenn. She's tried to do it a few times. And Fenn bangs it across for a corner kick. Emily Thomas again will run down and take it.
Taken by number 20, Emily Thomas.
All right, 4:25 and counting on the clock. Megan Davis, Emily Weil, both pressed up the backside of the box. So are Weaver and Miller. Thomas's corner kick over the top of one Tiger and then off of Megan Davis's right leg. Wide right. Morgan Gray will take the goal kick. Under 4 minutes left in the game. Jackets will probably be disappointed if they can't come up with a second goal, given that they've taken 27 shots tonight. But not all of them have been high percentage shots. There's a long ball. Widener off the top of the bar. Boy, that was almost perfect from 50 yards away, and this one curls over. Nearly an immaculate strike. Shannon Bruick inches away from grazing the crossbar. Wittenberg with a couple of scary moments here late if you're a Yellow Jacket fan. And we're at 3 minutes to go. Olivia Kane looking Bender's direction. Rachel with a heavy touch, couldn't keep it. Stays with the Jackets though. Bender takes it from Webb. Back toward the middle of the field. Rachel plays a low spinner and the offside flag goes up. Play stops, it should have stopped with the offside. But won away by Wittenberg. We're at 2:25 and counting. And there's a foul on Baldwin Wallace, well behind the play. Wittenberg will take a free kick, still on their half of the field defensively. Megan Davis to launch it up. Controlled in the box, Weil is there, it's still loose. Through Weil's legs, Gray swings and almost went right over the top of it. Under 2 minutes to go. A wild dash to the finish. Still tied at 1. 1:45 left in double overtime. BW did finish with one draw a year ago. Weil, well over the top of the bar. That draw came at home against Mount Union
for BW,
fairly early in conference play. Anna Wenzinger returns. Olivia Kane heads out. 1:16 to play. Morgan Gray looks ahead. Kicks it as far as she can. Stones tried to connect with Bender. That didn't work. Now Poptic feeling some pressure from Alex Steele. Steele can't keep it in bounds, although she beat her up the field. A quick restart, and it went out of bounds looking for Rush. 42 seconds to go. Wittenberg on the attack. They're going to try to strike late. Donahue. Too far out in front of Kayla Webb. Poptic watches it run out. 24 seconds left. Morgan Gray with 15 seconds left. 10 seconds to go.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6.
Bender trying to run onto it.
4, 3.
That's going to run out the game.
2, 1, 0.
Well, a 1-1 draw tonight, really, again, not a bad result for either side. Frustrating in some capacity because you never want to go home after having not won the game. But picking up a draw against a quality opponent like Wittenberg is, in my opinion, not a bad result. And if you're the Wittenberg Tigers, statistically tonight, things didn't really stay in your favor all night long. To give up 27 shots, of which 14 were on goal, and only give up one goal. Rachel Bender, for some perspective, if you're a Tiger fan, Rachel Bender took 17 shots by herself. Wittenberg took 17 as a team. Rachel's only goal in the 66th minute was the only goal that Wittenberg gave up all night. So both teams probably feel like they could have won the game, but both teams probably feel okay not to have lost the game. So the Yellow Jackets finish up this homestand with a tie. They win the first 2 games and draw the second. The I should say 5 of the next 6 contests for BW will be on the road, including Saturday at Frostburg State and next Tuesday at Hiram. They will return a week from Saturday to play Waynesburg at 1 o'clock. The men will have a game right after that. I'm Brendan Gould. Season as well. They are unbeaten with a 63-21 and 33-3 win over Alma and Otterbein, but the Yellow Jackets have not Union since 1991. We'll see if they can do it on Saturday afternoon. That's our next broadcast. Again, the next women's soccer game here at home is Saturday the 22nd of September at 1 o'clock. 1-1 draw tonight between Baldwin Wallace and Wittenberg. Have a great rest of the night, everybody.